And 10 minutes of TV time for Swerve and Big Bill and Cupcake of the Puddin' Gang.
You didn't watch any of it?
Are you kidding?
I watched some of it.
Why?
Because I wanted to see, I was intrigued that they would put this match on this show in this position. So I said, let me give it a few minutes and see what's up. Not a fan of these trios, these three-way matches. Big Bill looked good, gotta say. And I'm just intrigued by Swerve because here's a guy that got over. They did the thing with him and Keith Lee. They were the tag team champions. They broke up. And then whatever has been going on with this feud, it's mostly played out on other shows. Rick Ross showed up once, called Keith Lee a big mother. I never saw him again. The two tattooed guys that beat up Keith Lee.
Oh, I forgot about them.
We don't know the guy with the tattooed face and then Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Swerve's now with these other people. He's just with another of the many random factions that hang out backstage. It's weird the way he's used here. But I watched this. One question for you that came out of this match. I'm not a fan of these three-way matches. I've seen too many of them. You've talked a lot about that. Would it make it better in some cases, and this is certainly not the case here, considering who's in it and the position on the show, but if you had three main eventers, if you had it so that you had to pin both of the other opponents, as opposed to one pinfall wins the match, you think that would make it better?
Yes. Yes, because then, and by the way, that is the original rules. The original rules of a triple threat match were elimination. Last unbeaten man, last unpinned man, however you want to say it, is the winner. That's the way I did it. I think that's the way that Paul Lee did it when he took the idea for the three-way dance, didn't he?
I think so. Sabu versus Shane Douglas versus Terry Funk, February 1994, yeah.
And when JR took the triple threat to the WWF when he was booking the house show cards, I think that's where I can't remember whether the first ones were pinfall or not, or whether they made the change right at the start that first fall wins it so that they could avoid other guys doing jobs or whatever. I can't remember. But the original intention was an elimination. And again, to me, that's the only way that makes sense. Because otherwise you would have had a situation where a guy could lose a belt without being pinned, and that's ridiculous.
I'm not talking elimination. I'm talking whoever's in the match, you have to pin two people as opposed to one.
Well, yeah, that's what
But you're not eliminated once one guy pins you.
Oh, okay. Well, your idea is more busy because then you'd end up being 3 or 4 or 5 falls, and it might be hard to follow. Because if I'm against you and Styles Bitchley, but I pin Styles Bitchley, but I can't pin you, then you pin Styles Bitchley, but you can't pin me. And then finally, maybe I pin you. We're going around our elbow to get to our wrist.
Well, Styles still has a chance, even though, I mean, that would never happen because he would
never have a chance.
Weakling.
But the point, I like the elimination because people can follow it. And the thing I was going to say is the reason why it makes it better is because once you get rid of the first guy, and it's the easiest to get rid of the first guy because he can always have a bitch, because he can have had one guy beat, but the other guy stole it from behind. And that way he can even be up and he can come back out in the finish and fuck the babyface rat or whatever the fuck, if you want. But then you get down to the last two guys, you have a real match from that point on to get the people really involved and make the babyface sell and put him through hell. And then finally your big comeback. And then you can, like I said, run the other guy back in or do whatever you want. But that eliminates it being 3 guys for the entire time. And that helps. But what was your cockamamie idea?
My idea, because it doesn't seem like any of these promotions want to eliminate the third guy, would be that you have to pin both of your opponents to actually win the match. That way you also get a lot of different booking options coming out of it. I didn't win the match, but I pinned you. I beat the world champion, but he's the champion because he beat both of us before I could beat Styles Bitchley, whatever it may be. Again, it's busy. Probably only for main eventers and a Jim Cornette or a Pat Patterson or someone who could actually put it together in a smart way. Speak smartly also.
There's something in there. If it was related in English, it would even be more apparent, but there's something in that idea. But again, it would have to be 3 guys in the ring that knew what they were doing and somebody that knew what they were doing to lay the thing out and give them a skeleton or a framework so they could fill it in and etc. But I don't think Tony Khan, the plumber, Twinkle Toes, and
Danielson.
Fuck it. Well, Danielson could be in it with other people, but not any of those people I just mentioned.
I agree.